What's up YouTube? Francis Mangubat here. I am at my parents' house. So my parents live out of town in the suburbs of Chicago, Illinois, and they just got renovated this condo in Rittenhouse. It is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, leasing for $4,500 a month. And this is what you call a value add rental. I'm gonna walk you through the do's and don'ts, what you should do through the process. And what's crazy is just doing this as an out of town investor passively. You can double $100,000, which would be your cash on cash return, and you can make multiple 6 figures of return on equity on doing your own out-of-state deal. So my parents did this, I have clients that do this, and I just executed one myself completely out of town in Boca Raton, Florida. So in order to execute a deal like this, you need to have a very reliable, very solid real estate agent that is in the top 5% of your market and also knows the ins and outs of construction. The reason why you need an agent that is top at what they do is that agent needs to come into a shell and essentially give you a background, brief overview of what type of construction that you need to do, the overview of pulling permits and that number, and most importantly, this is absolutely the most important thing, what that property is going to rent for and what it's going to sell for at the end. So just to give you background, there's a lot of new real estate agents in the space. A few months ago, I think there was a record number of individuals that are real estate agents. There are some that do it, part-time, just to sell a house casually here or there, and some that completely do it full-time as a profession. So if you're looking at this as an investor and you want to make money in it, you absolutely must work with a real estate agent that's at the top of their game. The second most important thing is you need to work with really great and reliable general contractor. So the general contractor is the individual that you hire to completely do this job and to do all the work for you. What you're looking for in a general contractor is someone that has done similar jobs to this. They have enough work and they have reliable subcontractors that can essentially do this in a timely manner and meet your deadline. And I'd say the most important thing when looking for GC is that they're not going to rip you off, because there's a lot of GCs out there who rip off clients. So you just got to be super, super careful in who you're working with. Make sure they're trusted. Go ahead and vet them. And that's how you execute an out-of-state value add deal just like this. So when you're chatting with your GC, you want to finalize the construction scope. So the construction scope for this property is basically the bones were really good. You have this open layout. Basically replace the HVAC, replace the electrical, replace the plumbing, and basically have all new fixtures throughout, new windows on the exterior. And you just need to get really crystal clear as an investor with your general contractor. So to be really successful in doing an out-of-town investment, you have to know what the cost of everything is. I'll give you a sticker shock that shocked me when I did my Florida house. The tile material and tile labor, just to do the tile in the house, ended up being $45,000. And my budget, I think, was around $10,000 to $15,000. So me not being familiar with the Florida market kind of cost me, but then the market ended up appreciating $250,000 in the last 6 months. So I kind of got to ride that wave of appreciation. But part of having a really, really good general contractor is getting to know how much the materials and how much the labor is for every line item on that general contractor bid. So working with an experienced general contractor, working with really great suppliers and subs, I mean, you can get 50% off cabinets, tile, hardwood floors, and having really good general contractors, they can get you developer pricing on trades. Developer pricing would be different than a homeowner that's coming in to go and redo their floors or to go and redo their bathroom. A homeowner doing it can pay anywhere from 50 to 400% higher than a developer or investor would doing the same scope of work. The last and most important thing in protecting your investment is shielding yourself from liability. So it's super important that you hire a very competent attorney that specializes in construction. They're going to review your contract with a general contractor. And the second thing is you want to have a very good insurance agent that can essentially protect your liability for homeowners insurance, builder's risk policy for the house. So all in all, as an out-of-town real estate investor, you're just tying together the capital and the team to go go out and execute this deal. So Francis, what does this deal actually look like? So I'll give you an example. My parents ended up buying this house. They were gonna buy it as a second home, 10% down, and the crime just got kind of bad in Philly, and I kind of just told them they can sit at my house, and why have your own place to yourself when you can sit at my house or stay at a hotel and you can lease this house out for $4,500 a month. That was my thought to them. So essentially, my parents ended up buying this as a shell or as a super old grandmother house for $525,000. They probably put $125,000 into it. So around $650,000 all in. In Philadelphia, this just needed, an easy permit. We just ended up touching up all the finishes. So that was an easy process. You just get that within a day and you get an engineer just stating that you're keeping the staircases, you're not making any structural changes. So anyways, all in for $650, and the market value on this house is $900,000. And I think what's great about holding it as a rental is that my parents' monthly payment on this with everything is around $2,800 a month, and leases were asking $4,500 a month. So from a cash flow perspective, it's great. Cash from cash return, excellent. And kind of what was able to make that happen was my parents bought this at a good time. The interest rates are at 3%. When they bought this for a second home, the rate environment has changed, but anyways, you can still do any deals in any market environment. But yeah, just did my deal in Florida. That's more of a break even because I locked in at a permanent interest rate of 7%, but still, for me, the upside in that Boca Raton market, I see that market having one of the top appreciation rates in the country just because Florida is so crazy right now. There's no inventory, it's single family house, fronting water. But yeah, I think that's what's awesome is that my parents shut out right around $150,000 on this property, and from a return on equity, to have a $250,000 return, just deploying $150,000 worth of capital and being an out-of-state passive investor, that's what you can achieve. And so the numbers for my Boca deal, a little bit similar. I bought the place for $450,000. So I bought during the worst months to buy, or the worst months to sell in Florida, just because it's so hot down there. July and August are typically the third and fourth slowest months in the Northeast market. But in Florida, they're the slowest just because it's super, super hot down there. So yeah, got it for $450, did about $200,000 worth of renovation. So in for $650, and the place appraised for $900,000. So about $250,000 in appreciation by doing a value add deal instead of just buying at market and renting it. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you like the most and things that you see differently. Any feedback is much appreciated. And if you saw value, like and subscribe this video so I can put more out. But I appreciate you guys coming through, and feel free to check out the place.